We have risen from the ashes to school the masses. Hello everyone, welcome to another edition of the Scholars of Wrestling Show. I'm Jeff, alongside this guy.
It is that time of year, gentlemen. It is that time, the weekend, where people go into a demonic structure and they are never the same.
But what's your name?
I'm just going to leave my name a mystery, because if you don't know who I am, then shame on all of you, because you should know my name is Tarek.
Way to alienate all of our new listeners. Thank you. And there's also this guy.
Hi, I'm Brian, and welcome to hell. In a cell.
When this weekend is over, spirits will be crushed, bodies will be broken, people will never be the same.
And then you'll have Dean Ambrose.
Yeah, so that happened.
It's Hell in a Cell weekend. We're a week away from Halloween. It's just going to be a demonic night.
Yay.
More like a really interesting couple weeks. And you know what? It really is. Come to think of it. All this insanity aside. It's a good time of year. It really, really is. Especially now that Hell in a Cell is actually shaping up to be pretty damn interesting, I think.
Now that
At
they're
least the
actually
Hell in a
booking
Cell matches, sure.
how they're booking these matches, I actually have to give a little golf clap. Golf clap.
Yay.
Golf clap.
Good job, WWE. You're actually starting to do something right.
At least as far as the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view goes. Because, again, as you and I both know, we've been to one of these pay-per-views before, and not all that memorable.
The only thing that really is funny out of that is that we get to see another one of the matches from them this year.
Which one's that?
John Cena versus Randy Orton.
That was a match?
That was a match in 2009.
Wow, that says a lot that
Yeah,
I
it
forgot
was.
about that.
Oh, I remember. I'm yelling just like, "Do it, Randy! Kick his damn head off!"
I remember that now.
And
Holy crap.
the year of the infamous CM Punk
Undertaker match.
match. 10 minutes of just Undertaker domination.
I was so hyped for that match since it was the first time I was able to get to see
Hey, at least we got a good...
Undertaker and CM. Well, I saw Undertaker. But it was the first time seeing CM Punk, and it was my first time seeing a Hell in a Cell match. I was a little disappointed.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
because
I agree.
CM Punk said something stupid in the backstage, and the WWE said, "Hey, Undertaker, you're gonna kick his ass for 10 minutes tonight."
It's such a shame, because Taker actually wanted a legit match with Punk in the cell. But, of course, like you said, Punk had to say something, and that just went to, crap.
Yeah, but then again, I was actually there with a date last time, so I was like, okay, I had a good time regardless. But speaking of the Undertaker, since you brought that up, time to get into a very little bit of backstage news.
Yay.
How's that tie in?
Peek behind the curtain here.
Yes. Now you're probably wondering, how the heck does this tie into the Undertaker? Well, I'll tell you. According to PW Insider, Dave Meltzer and all those guys, supposedly the Undertaker is taking on a whole new role as a advisor at the Performance Center.
I'm not surprised at all for this. It's a lot of knowledge and experience that someone like The Undertaker can pass on to some of the younger talent who will eventually become NXT talent, who will eventually become main roster talent, who will eventually become main event stars.
Hopefully.
It's one of those things, like, there's very little that could go wrong here. The Undertaker is probably the best example of someone who can teach the younger stars how to be a WWE superstar. Not a wrestler, because that's not how it works in the WWE. You have to
Be a character.
And who else?
What better character?
Who else better to show you the WWE lifestyle than the biggest character of them all, The Undertaker?
I'll tell you what, the more I think about it, like, my first reaction was, okay, that makes sense. Undertaker's sort of an elder statesman of the game at this point. But then I realized, you know what, this isn't as commonplace as it probably should be, or at least in the sense of a much more higher build wrestler coming by every so often to check in on the people down there. I mean, Hulk Hogan doesn't do that. Stone Cold doesn't do that on a regular basis. The Rock certainly doesn't do it. There really aren't that many really, really high-name guys who are coming by on a regular basis to check in on the developing talent, on NXT or not. And this, the more I think about it, it's just, wow, this is... they're definitely bringing the cream of the crop to the performance there now. It's not going to be FCW or anything like that.
The only question is really, they have what, William Regal.
William Regal is
Bill DeMott. Is he still a part?
Yeah, he's still there.
Yeah.
It's one of those, okay, The Undertaker only wrestles once a year.
If that at this
If
point.
that at this point. And you give him something to do. And what better way, okay? You've got Bill DeMott and William Regal to work on the wrestling ability and all that. Then you have The Undertaker come in and advise on how to build a character.
Because as much as we love Regal and I guess Bill DeMott too, I don't know.
They didn't really have
they're not
stuff around there.
They're not established superstars. They're not established characters that were in WWE, which is someone like The Undertaker obviously is. And like I just said, he can pass down the knowledge of creating your character from the beginning in the Performance Center.
Yeah, it's definitely gives a... Ooh, someone's hungry. Yeah, this definitely sort of... For me, this sort of makes things get real. It really gives another added dimension as far as how big of a deal the Performance Center is, as opposed to, other things that may appear similar that the WWE has done in the past. But, yeah, if the WWE as a whole didn't look like an encyclopedia of wrestling knowledge and wrestling history, let's face it, this definitely looks... If you had to go train anywhere in the world, go to any wrestling school in the world, not that I'm sure that WWE even functions like this at this point, but if you had to train anywhere, hands down, you would need to go to Stamford, Connecticut to train.
Mm-hmm.
If they ever opened like a college of wrestling training academy, however you want to phrase that, it's just something on a wider scale, they could probably make a killing.
Because, let's face it, indie wrestling is great for what it is, okay? But in order to get the full package, character and all, you rarely get characters, great characters in the indies. You'll get, like, the Kevin Steens and all that, but in the best place to put it all together, okay, you need to go to the Performance Center. Especially now, after hearing this. You rarely get the great characters in indie wrestling that you get, like The Undertaker, Kane, Mankind, The Rock. You rarely get those in the indies. Okay? Just coming in, getting signed by the WWE, going to the Performance Center, and learning how to build a character from The Undertaker, the best character of them all, ever.
It'll definitely help you.
It's really the only way you can move up.
Hey,
really.
If NXT in its current state is any indication of what's going on behind the scenes, keep it coming, Triple H. Yeah, I'm going to eat it up like kibble.
You're doing the right thing. You're doing what's best for business. I really wish I had something else to say other than that, but really, it's the truth.
Speaking of what's best for business, another little tidbit just sort of happened across my desk. I just happened to find out that the new guys who are doing the music for WWE these days, what are they calling them? It's something like 3 letters and a $sign, CFO... something $. I don't know.
Much as I love going backstage with the music aspect, I just wasn't really focusing.
Basically,
in WWE.
The other guys who are not Jim Johnson who have been doing the music,
the
theme songs and all that. I know if you heard their stuff and you saw their name attached to it, you'd recognize them.
I believe
basically,
it.
Whoever those guys are, supposedly they were doing some tracks for the new NXT people, and. As I understand it, every single track has 2 alternate names. Like, I forget what the actual name for the track for Prince Devitt's new theme music was. But supposedly before he debuted, they had on a listing, the alternate name was Finn Balor. They basically have two separate names for the songs, including one of them being their tentative WWE name.
Interesting.
On a listing that was found online, there was a song that seemed to be attributed to the incoming Kevin Steen.
What's that?
I do not remember the exact name, but the key thing that I noticed was the alternate name for Kevin Steen was, drumroll please, Kevin Steen.
Works for me.
Finally. So if that
is
to be believed, they're actually going to keep Kevin Steen's actual name.
Let's hope
In
so.
The question is, will they let him be the character that he was in ROH?
If we're talking about the Fight Steen fight era, I mean, let's face it. Everyone's going to be tweaked a little bit, but given what they're doing with guys like Bull Dempsey and Baron, I'm a walking automaton with a face, Corbin, I mean, come on.
Okay.
Oh yeah, you haven't seen
the dude who does 2 moves in a match. And
have you seen the wonders
he's got
of
2 emotions.
Baron, I'm a boring, emotionless blob, Corbin?
Yes, you actually showed me one match. Just like you said, the man who doesn't change facial expressions, and then I pointed out in that exact match, he actually had a little smirk.
Yes, he's got 2 facial expressions, bored and smirk.
He learned the second emotion after his second match. After the first match, it was just the bored.
What after each match, his facial expression changes.
Bored,
yes.
and he.
By the time he gets on Monday Night Raw, he's just going to actually full on smile, and it'll be.
He's gonna be the new Bo Dallas when he finally gets on. When he finally gets on Raw.
Don't say that because Bo Dallas is now only on either Main Event or Superstar.
Just watch.
Thank you, God.
Yeah, exactly.
Here's a prediction. In a year's time, Bo Dallas will be pushed back to the main roster.
No.
Here, introducing my new bodyguard, Baron Dallas. He'll just come out all cheesing it up, just sort of laughing.
Here, Jeff, have another beer.
Hey, I'm not touching this stuff.
This is Captain Optimism at its finest. No. Just sit in the corner.
No.
How much
that is not good fantasy booking.
That is, I'm going to have to...
I never said it was my best. I'm just saying it's leagues better than what Baron Corbin's doing now. Hey, I'm Baron Corbin. I'm my own. I'm a lone wolf. This is all I talk about. I'm going to get on my motorcycle and drive away. The end.
I walk to the back.
Promo.
I walk to the back. I walk to the back, and they have to cut back to the ring so that the dude in the back can tell me to get back out to the stage.
So, Baron, what makes you think you can be a WWE superstar? I got some really rad tattoos. Okay, you're hired. Moving on.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you picked up it.
He's our new punching bag.
I don't like Baron Corbin.
I can tell. My God.
He's moved his hatred of Roman Reigns onto Baron Corbin.
Hey, at least he's got some. At least Roman Reigns has some sort of catchphrase. Believe that and baby girl.
He says baby girl?
He said it once to Renee Young when it was at his coolest.
Oh,
so everyone thought it was like hey, baby girl, smooth operator, yeah. So and then
now he's smiling after a hernia operation, and it's awkward.
Yeah.
And that's it.
I'm going to talk like I'm on ESPN. I'm not on a really entertaining show. Yeah.
And I'm talking as if it's not recorded. Look around at the camera.
Believe in the Shield. Believe that. Oh,
and I'm talking as if I'm not looking off camera, looking at flashcards.
I feel line. Good. You feel good, Roman. I feel good. I'm gonna give 110%. Get the ball in the end zone. Lead the Shield.
His only line. Amen. A line. Cut.
Okay, moving on from
How the heck did we start talking about people with poor promo ability?
You were
talking about Baron Corbin.
Baron Corbin.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Let's move on from Baron Corbin to someone who actually entertains us.
Oh, I got one that entertains us. The Boogeyman showing up at WWE headquarters.
Yes!
That was glorious.
I am the Boogeyman, and I'm coming to
Even though it's only pictures that he's posting on Twitter.
But
it is
Oh no,
great.
it's a video now.
There's a video?
There's a video.
It just went up on WWE.com just this afternoon.
Oh my god, I
That
have
kind
to
of
watch
makes
this
me
later.
think. That actually kind of makes me think that they're gonna bring him back.
Literally, it's just the Boogeyman going around WWE Titan Towers, whatever, just scaring people. Oh wait,
I love it.
Correction.
I actually love it,
It's
too.
the WWE. It's Boogeyman going around scaring people and having a conversation with the catering guy in the elevator. It's like, so what do you have prepared? Oh, we got some chicken, we got some sandwiches. You got any worms? No, Boogeyman, we don't have any worms.
The guy only shows up around Halloween. Do you notice that? That's the only time he shows up in WWE now.
And at his best was when he was sticking the worms down the Miz's throat when the
Okay.
Miz first came in.
Before we move on, I have to ask you one question.
Would I be okay if Boogeyman actually came back? Yes.
Yes,
That's not a question.
that's an obvious statement.
If he does come back, will him and Bray Wyatt ever have an interaction?
Please
That would be very interesting.
But
Really.
will it happen?
have him join the Wyatts. Have him be the
No.
Wyatt.
No, that's
No.
just pushing it.
Have the Wyatts hire him out.
I could see like them trying to push Boogeyman as kind of like a Papa Shango-esque character, more than just
Yeah,
a creepy one.
makes
Just
Have
like
have him be Bray Wyatt's new enforcer. Give him you know what you should do? Give him a pumpkin head gimmick.
a Pumpkinhead gimmick.
Yeah, Bray Wyatt wants revenge on his system, wants to bring down the machine, so he summons a monster in the form of the Boogeyman.
No.
No,
I don't think
That's like going back to the 90s.
I think
That's-
I
for
honestly think
Halloween. What if
I
it's
don't
just
think
like
that's
one?
good enough for Bray Wyatt. I think Bray Wyatt's better than that.
that seems to me like going back to the kiddie 90s.
Yeah,
right there.
that was just a little too much.
Oh well, I
That era in like the early 90s where they started losing to the WCW because all they were doing were gimmicks like Doink the Clown, not talking bad about you, Doink, that you're still amazing. But all that
dude,
crap.
the original Doink is dead.
I know this.
Okay, well, why?
All the others.
Awkwardness. Let's move that
Awkwardness
aside.
moving on.
Awkwardness push aside.
Speaking about clowns, let's talk about Hell in a Cell. Finally,
How are you
20 minutes in.
How are you comparing clowns to Hell in a Cell?
Because I know that Hell in a Cell will begin, as we just discussed previously, with a crying clown turned happy clown. Of course, I'm talking about the debut, presumably, of Mizdow TV.
Okay, I guess. I'm trying to think. how
I'm
you
trying to
picture-
work in a segue here to talk about something good.
with clowns.
Long way to go for
Yeah,
a
it's
segue.
a bit of a stretch, but you know what? I'll go
We'll
along
go
with
with
it.
it, yeah.
We'll go with it. But
And
yes,
we're talking
I'm looking
about
forward.
6 degrees of Doink the Clown right now. There's only
It's
so
true.
far we can do with this to actually win the game.
So Mizdow or Mizdow TV was special guest, The Miz.
Oh, how the mighty have fallen, and how the paradigm is changing. This is going to be absolute gold.
I could see a little. I hope there would be a little tension with like Sandow's like I know, reach to the line, stick to the lines. I'm like, don't worry, I got this. Let me improvise and start building a little tension between the two, but nothing to a point where they're going to automatically break up there.
Yeah, there's gonna be tension during this promo, but it's gonna be the beginnings of something. They're not. I hope that it's a slow build.
Yeah, me too.
I hope that what they're doing is a slow build for Sandow and The Miz to come to a head. But I don't think that the WWE will pull the trigger after 2 promos.
Yeah, I don't think, nor should they. At least,
No.
I definitely see this. If I have to compare this to absolutely anything at all, this is definitely looking like a Ted DiBiase Virgil type of gimmick. Except instead of just Virgil sort of stagnating for a while, it's going to be a moderate resurgence for Damian Sandow.
Yeah, it's not a
if
jobber.
played right.
Yeah. And now here's my question: with them doing this segment to open the show, or to do for the pre-show, are they going to open the show with Miz and Sheamus for the United States Championship?
I almost guarantee it.
That is my prediction too. I actually put that first on the run sheet of things to talk about.
All right, good segue.
So there you go.
Now that's a good segue.
Shut up, rabbit. All right, so here
I'm
we
not
are.
a rabbit. I'm the fox.
I don't know what the hell that means. Anyway, Sheamus Miz. Who do you got? Personally, I'm calling it this way. Sheamus retains due to Mizdow interference.
See, here's
Or
the
Mizdow
problem.
shenanigans.
Last week we were talking about The Miz winning the title. My problem is that he's gotten one over on Sheamus the last 3 weeks. Okay, and you don't... WWE booking states that if the challenger is getting one over on the champion over and over and over again, unless your name is Brock Lesnar, you're losing at the pay-per-view. So I agree, Sheamus wins due to some kind of shenanigans. Not saying that Mizdow will hit the Miz, will turn on the Miz.
That's not what I was
not saying that Mizdow will turn on the Miz, but maybe a whip.
All right,
The Mizdow is setting up to hit Sheamus, and Sheamus reverses the whip or something like that, and the Miz walks into the bro kick after getting hit.
Yeah, let me clarify my previous statement. I'm not necessarily implying that Mizdow will necessarily go in and run interference for the Miz, but there will be an additional focus as far as a production standpoint on Mizdow. Then maybe Miz will sort of yell at Mizdow for not helping him, or will be pissed off or something. Not hitting him, not going full on double heel turn or even healer turn or whatever you want to call that. Just, a little bit. There's going to be. This story is going to progress a little bit more in the direction that it obviously is going in, looking for a push for Mizdow, and we'll see how it goes. I think it's a little too early for a straight up turn like that.
Yeah, it's going to be definitely too early for something like that, but I'm actually going to be the lone shark on this one. I'm actually going to continue our discussion from last week. Yes, it is truly WWE logic that, since Miz has been getting the upper hand on Sheamus over and over and over again the past couple of weeks, I think this is just going to continue on to Hell in a Cell, where Sandow is, if anything, he's going to be indirectly responsible for helping Miz win the title. But, because really, what more can Sheamus do as the United States champion?
You know what? You're actually making me reconsider everything, because, again, as I often have a tendency to do...
I would like to see them pull some kind of twist instead of being as predictable as... Yeah, I agree with you, Brian. They are always with that predictability. We've talked about it plenty of times on this show. I just think with what they're trying to do with this story time, yay! Well, they are aiming towards kids, so yay! Yeah, but this storytelling for the Miz and Mizdow, Sandow, whichever. They want to put a lot of focus on the Miz. I feel like giving him, if anything, the third tier title would help. And it would also help Sandow in the end, and Sheamus can move on to bigger, better things. Because, like I said, what more can Sheamus do as the United States champion?
What I was alluding to before, the train of thought that you started actually got me thinking. I was so focused on the resurgence of Mizdow, which is really captivating my attention way more than anything that's going on with the U.S. title now. Maybe, just maybe, let's say Miz actually does win the U.S. title, and then that's when the real friction between Miz and Sandow starts heating up. What if this feud actually not only leads up to a split, or a full-on feud, but what if it actually leads to Sandow capturing the U.S. title again?
Oh yeah, we talked about this last week. It will eventually lead to what we were talking about, a WrestleMania match, and a good WrestleMania moment for Sandow.
I know we talked about that, but
oh yeah, it would be a good way to help.
What I'm saying is, the way it's shaping up, if this is a possibility right now at all, it might happen quicker than we thought.
But for me, it's one of those, does it happen right away, the Miz getting it, or do the Miz and Sheamus have, a little bit more of a feud going, and the Miz takes it. The Miz takes it at a.
It's this train of thought that's just going on right now. It's making me think that, you know what? There's a somewhat slightly larger possibility. I think that this could actually happen sooner than we all think.
Well, with what you were just saying, Brian, they can continue the feud with Sheamus and Miz. If Sheamus successfully defends the title, where do they go from there?
But what if it's BS?
Well,
what if it's shenanigans?
What if it's shenanigans? What if it isn't?
even
That's
still,
that's the age-old question now, isn't it?
It's the WWE. Yeah, it's the age-old
wouldn't
question.
the shenanigans work better if the heel ends up winning?
Very true. But
then again, this is also Sheamus we're talking about. So
And Sheamus can do his rematch clause.
He's a goofy Irishman fella.
I wouldn't say. I guess
here's my
goofy.
thought. Okay, the WWE. Okay, don't have a good history of turning people and immediately having them in like title situations. So I mean, like Sandow, what they do. My fear is that they do have him turn on Miz completely at Hell in a Cell.
You think? I don't think so.
No, I don't. I hope not. But I'm Mr. Pessimist here to counteract Mr. Optimist.
Hello.
Damien, what if Mizdow turns on the Miz, causing Sheamus to retain the United States title, basically helping no one? And then you just have Sandow and the Miz fighting in the mid card, like the Miz and Alex Riley did when Alex Riley turned on the Miz.
That's what this is. It's a repeat of nothing.
That's my issue. What if for some reason they're doing that? They do that again.
Well, Sandow is a much more interesting character than Alex Riley.
Yeah, and when has that meant anything to the WWE?
Well, hey, just as a point of reference here, a minor point of reference, Alex Riley has gotten a pretty consistent announcing gig as of right now.
Yeah, that is true.
I mean, even if how we see Damien Sandow as just a play-by-play commentator or that kind of thing for a while, the guy's got speaking chops. I think that would be kind of neat if that's in the cards for him. But then again, I also think that Damien Sandow, when properly pushed, has a much higher rate of being way more consistently over than Alex Riley does.
Yeah.
It's very true, right. But I'm going to stick with my pick of Sheamus for the win after accidental interference by Mizdow.
I'm going to put down Sheamus, but no interference from Mizdow. Maybe there's going to be some sort of tension or blame from the Miz to Mizdow, but either way, I think Sheamus wins.
I just think I'm picking the Miz, and I think Sandow is going to be somehow. He's not going to directly be physical at all. He's just going to help Miz take it off Sheamus.
All right. Well, at this rate, I'm just glad that there's not a general consensus like we always get sometimes. And now for something completely different, let's move on to Big Show versus Rusev. Who do you got?
Do we really need to talk about this?
Yes, because it's on the card.
Rusev in a match that doesn't matter.
Rusev. Done. Nothing more else to say than what we've been saying the past few weeks.
He kicked a military man in the face. Rusev wins.
Yeah, I think we're all of consensus here. Rusev is going to win, but at the same time, I got to appreciate how much energy and gusto they're putting into maintaining this entire feud. It's still so deliciously old school after all this time.
Yeah, talk about wanting controversy. You allow Rusev to sidekick a military guy in the face.
And it just so much hype. I mean, before you guys show up, I was watching SmackDown, and just the sheer amount of hype they're putting in the Big Show. They cut back to a segment with Hulk Hogan, of all people, cutting a promo, hyping up the Big Show. It's like, let me tell you something, Mean Gene. I mean Renee Young. This Big Show, brother. He's all American. He's a real American brother, sister, brother.
He's not Shawn Michaels dressed up as Hulk Hogan, Jeff.
You're right. He's regular Hulk Hogan dressed up as Hulk Hogan. But the point remains the same. Everyone is hyping up this storyline, which should be so old school and overdone, but part of me still just has to appreciate that. I can't help but appreciate it.
Oh yeah, I appreciate it too, and I like that they're adding more to this. I mean, how more can you get the guy heat than him kicking a military man, an armed man?
All right.
Quote.
I don't know, but either way,
What?
I can't wait to see what Rusev does here. I still like Rusev, and let's just see how far this goes at this point.
Now here's the question: is Mark Henry going to get involved?
I want to say possibly.
Does Mark Henry turn on the Big Show?
Well,
I don't know. Given how America that they're putting both
Mark
both
Henry
these
is
guys-
a Russian sympathizer. Oh.
You know what? I want to see that happen now.
Yeah.
It's so 80s and so like actually it's more like early 90s. When was
Sergeant Slaughter?
yeah, when was Sergeant Slaughter?
I think that was late 80s and the early 90s.
That was what? WrestleMania 13?
I don't recall. I don't recall the.
Oh, I
top
thought
of
it
my
was
head.
the early WrestleManias, like the 7s or the something like that.
Was it 7? I don't know.
Well, either way,
I'm getting
early
my
90s.
timelines messed up.
Early 90s. We'll go with that.
Yeah, in my mind, I keep thinking it's like the 80s, and then all of a sudden it's the Attitude Era. But I know that's not true.
It's just disappointing because I remember talking about that similar thing. How, like Brian mentioned, Mark Henry, Russian sympathizer, and I talked about it when he was doing the rivalry with Jack Swagger, and I'd love to see Jack Swagger be the Russian sympathizer because it would actually draw more heat since people were more leaning towards America with Jack Swagger than they leaned towards America with the Big Show.
I would say that would be a great idea if We the People wasn't so over as a chant, and plus they gotta have.
I think that would have made it even more of a big heat draw than having the We the People be the Russian sympathizer.
And Zeb Coulter.
He turns on the people, damn it.
He turns on the people, yeah.
Zeb Coulter is such a America character. He's too America.
Did I say Zeb Coulter?
I know.
I
but
said
Jack
just
Swagger
Jack
turns
Swagger.
on
Jack
Zeb
Swagger,
Coulter.
but there's
Turns on Zeb Coulter,
they gotta
puts him
do
in the
some crazy-
Patriot lock.
they gotta do some crazy finagling to. Well,
now-
either way,
now
that ship is
Jack
sailed.
Swagger is now irrelevant again.
That's a shame.
It-
They had that whole angle had me really loving Jack Swagger. And I know I wasn't the only one.
Didn't make me love Jack Swagger, but it got me invested in what he was doing.
Yeah, and that's
And
really
that's
all
saying
you
something.
can expect from something like this. But either way, I think we pretty much know what to expect, unless Big Show and Rusev do something absolutely new, crazy, and innovative, which I don't think
It's
they
not
will.
going to happen.
And personally, I don't think it needs to happen. All they need to do is just. This is just going to be a slugfest in between more exciting matches. But either way,
Hell, The Rock took more interest, was more interesting with Rusev in that one segment than
well, yeah.
he
Then
and Big
again,
Show had with this whole feud.
well, then again, we're talking about The Rock here.
Yeah.
You can pretty much inject him into almost anything, and he's going to produce some gold, at least promo wise.
And if you're putting The Rock with Rusev,
That's a good.
okay, Rusev is not losing this match.
No, not at
But
all.
are you seriously? But the question I have before we move on is this potentially going to extend into a Rock Rusev showdown?
Probably not.
Probably not. I think that was
Yeah.
a one-off.
Still, a boy can dream. Speaking of boys and their dreams, let's move on to one of the potential matches of the night.
I hope it is what you're actually thinking, and not you're gonna pull your dark fool twist on us here.
What do you think it is?
El Dandy makes it.
No, it's not
No,
gonna
that
be El
really would be entertaining.
That would.
that would be
I
great.
hope it is the 2 out of 3 falls for the Intercontinental Championship between Dolph Ziggler and Cesaro. But knowing you and that evil smirk that you have right now, it's probably going to be Brie Bella versus Nikki Bella. The winner.
Correct.
He's nodding his head.
The loser is the winner's biatch.
Yes, we're going to do the match. Yeah.
So the obvious Nikki winner, huh?
Yeah, that actually I don't know if that's so obvious.
I do think it's obvious
I think it's
because
obvious, too.
because the loser is the winner's biatch. It's gonna be the heel. The heel wins. The heel always wins in that match.
Not only that, there's a lot more potential. I can see Nikki. I hate that I'm talking about this. God damn it, fool.
Nikki will play it. Nikki will play it better than Brie does.
Yes, Nikki will actually have Brie do embarrassing things, and Brie will at first be resilient and says, "Go ahead, Brie, quit, quit like you did on me months ago. And Bree will be the good-hearted person and say, no, I will stick through to all your BS. And that is a lot of BS to deal with. And not just on Nikki on that. Bree as well. That is a lot of BS.
Yeah, but I don't know. Part of me, like...
No, don't say it.
What? What do you think I'm going to say?
Don't be intrigued in this match!
Stop it! No!
Please,
Well,
God, fool, for the sake of all humanity, don't show any intrigue in this match.
Well, hey, if
you value your soul, do not get intrigued in this match.
It's too late.
Well, hey, let's just put it this way. The way it was first, this whole idea, before I even heard about the official stipulation of this match, I didn't even say anything yet.
I'm scared for you, but continue.
All I'm saying is the first time I heard about the stipulation to this match was the loser has to be the winner's biatch for a month. I'm like, okay. And if Nikki Bella wins, she's gonna have her sister be her biatch. Yes. Suddenly, I am Jeff Goldblum. Yes. Go on. This could be has some saucy results. Yes.
How so?
I really don't think I should get into this on the show because I don't think we attach.
He doesn't.
Oh no,
Unless
I do.
he has a dirty mind, but I don't think.
Oh, he has a very dirty mind.
How long have you known me for?
I don't think you really want to see dirty twin action here, because that would just be disturbing. You want to keep this a PG show, don't you?
Clearly, you have never seen my internet search history from 10 years ago.
Oh my dear God!
Either way,
we know that we don't want to see.
Yeah, I know, right? Go on.
Praise Jesus, my life has been changed. That's all you need to know. Either way, I think you're right, and Nikki Bella is going to win.
Please, let's move on.
Okay, we're moving on already. Let's talk about something more appropriate for the show, or at least the context. Let's talk about Dashingly Gold versus the Usos.
Usos win. No, Dashingly Gold wins.
I'm going to say
I'm Dashingly Gold.
I'm going to say Dashingly Gold, and really, what more can we really say? They're not having any focus on this feud at all. The only times you've seen Dashingly Gold and the Usos, I was going to say Usos. I was going to say the Usos. The only time you've seen the Usos and Dashingly Gold at all on TV is when you're having a 6-man tag match with either Sheamus, Miz, Sandow, Ziggler, Cesaro. It's really, that's it. They're not putting any focus on the tag team titles. They're just there.
It's one of those.
The
WWE doesn't care about this tag team match, so I don't care about this tag team match.
Neither do I.
And because there's no storyline behind it, there's no reason for the titles to change again. Dashingly Gold retains.
I'm going to say Dashingly Gold retained too, but with the additional caveat of I actually find these guys entertaining. Not because they're getting pushed, because I definitely agree with you. The Usos especially, they're sort of on the top tier talent, sort of autopilot, okay, go in, have a match, whatever, the end. But every time I catch Dashingly Gold and they get promo time, of course, Goldust has been on a hot streak ever since his latest comeback, and Stardust is Cody Rhodes being Cody Rhodes. He gets to be wacky and fun. And I like wacky and fun Cody Rhodes.
Oh, I love it too, but it's just the fact is these past few weeks, since they won the tag team titles, actually, they haven't been getting any promo time. They've just been getting lackey time, as I like to call it.
If anything, I have seen him do those face in a box promos where someone will come out and all of a sudden they're in the face, they're faced in the box.
Here's what I want to see before it's not going to be the Ascension. It's not going to be the Ascension. We're not going to talk about them right now. What I want to see, and I can't believe I'm actually thinking I want to see this. I want to see Ryback will come back as faces and do a little promo feud with Dashingly Gold. Because imagine these the two heel whack jobs of Dashingly Gold versus the two whack jobs of a newly faced Ryback, especially with Ryback, the big guy, as leading the charge.
That could be fun.
It could be fun, but I still don't care about Curtis
Axel. A face
Axel.
Ryback.
Let's just... Because, yes, the main focus is Ryback, of course. He's the one that's going to get the mic time. But he's going to be the, like, how...
It's a bully.
Brian, I'm trying to go Cracker Barrel.
Cracker Barrel, I heard about those. They don't have any in Las Vegas. I can hardly wait. Like I said, I've said this plenty of times on this show. The day I meet Ryback, I'm going to have him sign a Rice Krispie treat. And then I'm going to take a picture with me and him eating Rice Krispie treats.
You know, he actually said in a promo that he doesn't actually like Rice Krispie treats all that much.
Son of a bitch.
You just ruined his dreams.
He was just really super hungry, and that's all they had in the catering at the time, so he just filled like his pockets with them. I'm still gonna get him to autograph a big old box of Rice Krispie treats.
No, I actually when I went to New York one time with Michelle to Rockefeller Center, they had this giant bar of a Rice Krispie treat. It is like literally this high, this wide. I'm sorry, you can't see it.
It's like 1 foot high by 3 feet wide.
Pretty much, and it's a big Rice Krispie treat, and I want him to sign that.
Well, okay.
Or if anything,
we were talking about Dastardly and Gold a minute ago.
Well, that's how intriguing this feud is right now. It isn't. Have the picture. Get 2 of those Rice Krispie treats. One him signing, and one me and him eating each side of the Rice Krispie treats.
So in other words,
it's like.
So in other words, for the winner of the match, we're thinking Rice Krispie treats.
Yes.
Okay, Rice Krispie treats for the win.
Because this match is vanilla and white and don't care.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
Dastardly Gold for the win.
It's gonna be a good match, but no one's gonna care because the WWE doesn't care. So
no one wants to see the Usos with the tag team titles again. And as much as we love Dastardly Gold, they're not doing anything with them, so we don't care.
Speaking of vanilla, white, and caring, let's talk about AJ Lee versus Paige for the Divas title.
I think AJ's going to successfully defend.
Honestly, I'm gotten to the point where this feud I feel like these two are destined to do this forever. But
pretty much.
It's spinning in circles. It's just a wheel that just keeps spinning and doing the same thing over and over and over again.
You want to talk about matches that I don't care about? I hate to say this is the match, but yeah, this is the match. I feel like this match doesn't mean anything anymore.
A lot of these feuds don't mean anything anymore, and
but
that's the problem.
One especially, to me anyway, this feels like, again, if they're spinning their wheels in any match, give me something more, ladies. I mean, you're basically putting the entire division on these two ladies. You're preoccupying more than 2/3 of the division on the main roster on Total Divas. So you've got AJ and Diva of the Month, who is not on the show.
We can't even say Paige, because her and Alicia Fox are actually joining the cast of Total Divas. Seriously, all this is going to end up with just AJ being the only one that's on Total Divas, and we all know why she's not going to be on Total Divas, which we won't talk about. But yeah, she's going to be the only one that's on Total Divas. And even though Stephanie McMahon said that the rule that Total Divas can't get the title is crap, I don't believe her. Because if that was the case, a Total Diva would have had the title by now.
I'm just
don't really know what to make of this.
I'm just gonna put this out there. All right, can someone retain the Divas title already? Because it's been 4 months and it's just gone back and forth, back and forth. Someone else has won. AJ wins the title 1 month. Paige wins the title the next month. AJ wins it back the next month.
And now she still has the title for 2 months.
AJ, keep going.
AJ, keep going with this.
AJ wins.
Ladies, I love you, but do something new.
Another
That's
case
all I
of
got.
the wheels are spinning.
Yeah, they added something new with Alicia Fox, but they're not adding it like they started with something new with AJ trying to find a partner. But really, it was just Emma and Layla. That's all you had.
Yeah. Emma showed up and was cute for like 10 minutes.
Because the rest, I can't even say she was cute because she was annoying me. I really hated that whole tag team match. And now yet Layla, and she's the other one that's not on Total Divas. Wait, is she?
No, Layla.
I can't even tell anymore.
Layla actually is not on Total Divas, surprisingly.
You would think she would be the one that would be on Total Divas,
really,
especially with her being with Summer Rae. I was going to say Summer Cool.
Summer
McCool.
She was Summer McCool.
I was about to mix two factions with Layla together.
Here's the Divas division, okay? The wheels are spinning on the car, but the car isn't going anywhere. That is the Divas division right now.
So
Nothing is happening.
So Car's on a treadmill?
Yes.
Huh.
Car's on a treadmill.
There you go.
Car's on a treadmill, but the car isn't moving.
So
We're done.
Now I want to make a picture. Now I want to make a meme of that. Have a car, try and get a picture of a car on a big treadmill. You could see that the car is moving. Divas division.
with a poorly photoshopped head of AJ and Paige.
And the driver and passenger seat.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. It's just the Divas division right now is about as meaningless as the tag team title division, which means everything's back to status quo.
Okay, let's talk about something a little bit. Let's talk brighter.
Let's talk about a title that's actually starting to gain back its relevance.
Take us into it.
Dun 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 dun.
Now
we can talk about the 2 out of 3 falls for the Intercontinental Championship between champion Dolph Ziggler and Cesaro. Yay. Okay. I actually like this whole idea.
Happy, joy, happy, joy.
Stop it.
I'm calling this right now because I think we all know what the match of the night is going to be: Ambrose versus Rollins, which we'll get to later. But I'm calling it right now. If there's going to be one match that's going to attempt to steal the show and steal that thunder, it's going to be this one.
I agree, and I actually like how they kind of put this match together with this past week. Cesaro winning their match on Raw, and then Ziggler winning a title match on SmackDown. I don't know why it was a title match, but I don't know. Especially since it was
WWE logic.
Yeah, WWE logic at its finest. And Cesaro throwing the idea, now that we both have one, why don't we just do a 2 out of 3 falls? It's brilliant. And if they actually give Cesaro and Ziggler time, which it's a 2 out of 3 falls, you can definitely tell they're going to get like probably 20 minutes. Mm-hmm. Maybe 25 tops. They are going to put on a great match.
Oh yeah, big time. But the question is, who wins?
This is the toughest one to call for me of the show.
I can definitely see why. I've got my pick already, but what do you think?
Well, you're
2 out of 3 falls match typically, in my mind, goes to the face.
Mm-hmm.
So, for this, do I predict the feud goes on? Yes, I want it to go on. It must go on because this is made of awesome. But I think Ziggler pulls this one out.
Fool?
Well, we all said fool at the same time.
You fool.
All right. Given how much of a toss-up this could potentially be, I'm going to go with my heart. I'm going to say Cesaro's due. He's been competently over. He's been on sort of a hot streak. And as we just saw on SmackDown before we started recording, he is back 1 win, having just lost to Dolph Ziggler. So I think, personally, I think the time is ripe. I think the time is ripe and the time is right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Long story short, I think Cesaro is due.
This is the match, other than Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose, of course, this is the match I'm looking forward to the most. I love Dolph Ziggler. I love Cesaro. I know these two can put on a 5-star match.
Break the tie. Who do you think is going to win?
I'm going to choose Cesaro. As much as I love Dolph Ziggler, he has been a great Intercontinental Champion, and a really good way to keep this feud going is having Cesaro win the Intercontinental Championship. The one difference between, with Cesaro winning the IC title and The Miz winning the United States title, as I said earlier, for Miz, it'll slowly transfer to him versus Sandow, taking Sheamus out of the equation. With this one, it's keeping Dolph Ziggler and Cesaro the main focus, which is them fighting for the title. They're going to get their rematch. I don't know when. Probably they'll wait till the next pay-per-view, having it a different stipulation. Personally, I think these guys can go in an Iron Man match, but they're probably not going to give that one to them.
Not yet. I would love to see it down the road.
If they do that, it would be for the big title.
But yeah, I could definitely see Cesaro. Like I said, it's like you said, fool. Cesaro is long overdue for this. He has been in a slump ever since he won the Andre the Giant over the top rope battle royal. and then he joins with Paul Heyman, and things slowly went downhill for that. That is a shame, especially going in with someone like Paul Heyman, and then what was it, like not even a month later Paul Heyman
dropped him.
They dropped each other. He's like, now he's trying to go in good terms with Triple H, which led to nowhere. And now Cesaro is just by himself, as he's doing good stuff by showing us what he wants. He's not just being on the mic. When he does on the mic, well, he's only been really on the announce team, pretty much making his case, and he's making good cases. He's showing his character through the announce team, and then when it comes to inside the ring, he's doing it in the ring. And I think Cesaro would be a great Intercontinental Champion.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to pick Cesaro.
All right, boom. Cesaro for the win either way. I'm seriously liking all these toss-up results. It's not all just general boring consensus. It's
not all of them.
Yeah, to me, it's at least there's some unpredictability going in this pay-per-view, which could be a very big asset.
What I like is the unpredictability are going into the matches that actually matter.
And now we're getting into the complete antithesis of that.
Oh boy.
John Cena versus Randy Orton, our first Hell in a Cell match of the night. Do I even need to say it?
Honestly, all right, they're talking about a Randy Orton face turn. Okay, what if the Authority turns on him because he wins, and he's going up against Brock Lesnar, and Seth Rollins is like, no. Seth Rollins cost him the title match. I kind of want Randy Orton to win.
But will he win?
With how much they are actually building how Raw went with him, Cena, and Paul Heyman, I actually put this down in my notes on my phone. Randy Orton put on a good little bit talking about the history between him and John Cena. Their history together. They're a long running feud. And how hopefully this one will actually end it, even though it was supposed to be when they unified the titles. It will never end. It will never end. And even though Randy put on a good promo, John Cena comes out, and pretty much it was the equivalent of Dexter's Lab. You are stupid. You are stupid. You are stupid. You are dumbass. You are stupid. I respect you. But you are stupid. You are. That was most of John Cena's line. Watch that promo again. How many times he actually says he's dumb, he's stupid, all that. He says it like a dozen times. And I'm just like, okay, Cena, you are Dexter now. You are stupid. You are stupid.
Orton, get out of my laboratory.
Randy, get out of my laboratory.
Ooh, what does this button do, punt?
I don't even remember how Cena ended it. Because I was just shocked. I'm like, how many times are you going to say Randy is dumb? And then Paul Heyman comes out and actually throws the intrigues because the whole winner gets the title match. See the logic in that one. The loser match, pretty much, because the winner would face Seth Rollins. The loser gets Randy Orton for number one contendership for the title. Okay.
Yeah. I don't think
WWE booking at its finest.
Yeah, I don't think the booking logic for that match went beyond the word because.
And so, oh God, where was I going with this?
I don't even know.
John Cena calling him stupid. And mainly the focus of the whole promo was Randy Orton. Because he RKO'd John Cena. I like the little stand with him and Paul Heyman. It looked like they were actually on the same page.
And then he
RKO's Paul Heyman.
I kind of think I
can see them actually.
I do not want to see John Cena versus Brock Lesnar Part 4. Okay? So, I'm going with my heart. Randy Orton wins.
All right, you know what?
Ain't that
I'm gonna join you on this crazy train here. I'm gonna say Randy Orton for a completely different reason.
What's your reason?
Vine.
Oh
yes,
Vine.
There you go.
You need to take advantage of this while you can.
The kids love the Vines. They love the RKO. Push Randy Orton back to the moon.
What do you think of the Shawn
brother.
Michaels Vines with him sweet chinning people and the?
I haven't seen any of those yet. All I've just seen are a bunch of
honestly,
Randy Orton ones.
They don't match up to the greatness that is the random ass RKOs.
Although the one Vine of Randy Orton RKOing an airplane kind of disturbed me a little bit.
The best, okay. The best is those soccer players that celebrated by hitting each other with an RKO.
And you see Randy Orton. And you see Randy Orton show up with a sad face with his poker lips.
That automatically makes Randy Orton like the second best thing in the WWE for me right now.
You heard it. So I'm guessing the consensus here is we're all pulling for Randy Orton then.
Yes, Randy Orton for the win. A, for Vines. B, for actually, with how they're booking it, it actually makes sense.
Well, congratulations, WWE. You just made Randy Orton interesting again.
Although I have to ask you, Brian, you said with having the Authority turn on Randy Orton for him wanting to go for the title. Don't they want Brock Lesnar not to be the champion?
They want Seth Rollins to be the champion. The whole build-up is that they're trying to make Seth Rollins out to be better than Randy Orton.
Maybe they pull what they did when he won the title against Benoit and have it like them celebrating, and similar to that, put the thumbs down, and then they have him, and then they have
because the
Seth
whole
Rollins
point
cash in. That turns him
Seth
face.
Rollins and Randy Orton have been butting heads, so Randy Orton gets the title shot. Does he beat Brock Lesnar? Hell no, But the Authority has been treating Randy Orton like crap. They're treating Seth Rollins as the next big thing. Brock Lesnar reference right there. Mm-hmm. And then
sweet.
So Randy Orton suddenly shows that he's better, that he's quote unquote better than Seth Rollins. We can't have this.
You're not the future.
They try to knock Randy Orton down a peg or two. Face turn. Bam. There's your Randy Orton face turn. Okay. Book it.
Okay, since we're already segueing into that, let's talk about, let's face it, it's going to be the main event. Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, Hell in a Cell.
Ending the feud, Dean Ambrose gets his much-needed revenge.
Agreed.
Dean Ambrose takes it.
Agreed.
Well,
it's going to be a great
that was
match.
Easy.
Okay. We got the predictions out of the way. I just want to make something perfectly clear with what happened this past Raw. Dean Ambrose comes in with a bag. We're not knowing what it is.
Yeah, this one was...
This was creepy as hell, man.
Yeah, that's the best thing.
Weird.
It was Dean Ambrose doing what he does best. He opens the bag. He shows that he has a Seth Rollins resuscitation doll thing.
It looks like a training dummy.
A training dummy. I don't know. It's a dummy.
Legs and arms are like all out.
It's a dummy that's made to look like Seth Rollins. Okay. He pulls out different forms of things that can be used for weapons. A hammer, a saw, etc.
Tongs.
At first, it says he's going to rip off Seth Rollins' arm. He rips off the dummy's arm. He takes this long, what was it? Not the tongs, the stick, the metal stick.
The stick.
And
Don't give him the stick.
And he actually starts jamming it into the face of the doll, saying he's going to continuously stab him in the face. And then he's going to cut off he's going to tong his ball, he's going to cut off his other body parts with a saw.
This is PG?
Yeah, as much as I was watching it, I was like, wow, this is a very, very disturbing bit. You have a guy who is mentally unstable saying how he's going to dismember another human being. And what do the announcers do, or the commentators do? They're laughing at it. They're making a joke out of this. They're treating it like it's something silly fun. Well, it took the mood and actually insulted the main event. To me, this is how I reacted. When they were laughing, he's like, what is this? I'm like, you shouldn't be laughing at this. You really should be disturbed. You should be freaking out saying, oh God, this is going to be a disturbing Hell in the Cell match. Because you got, like I said, a mentally unstable human being with the capability of doing whatever he wants in Satan's structure. And he's telling us what he's going to do. I wouldn't be making jokes about that.
Yeah. It
really pissed me off.
I would at least have JBL freaking out. Because JBL is the Authority's announcer, basically. He's all up on the Authorities. So when Dean Ambrose is threatening to saw off Seth Rollins' hand basically threatening to torture him and then kill him.
It was not a joking matter that they were trying to make a joke out of it.
But once again, what do you expect out of Michael Cole and Jerry the King Lawler?
There's a definite disconnect between the announcing team and what they're trying to pull off. I got what they were trying to pull off, but
that the announce team was trying to pull
no,
off?
what they were trying to, what Dean Ambrose was, what he was being fed, what he was trying to accomplish with the skit. Honestly, I'm not sure if it worked as well on its own, but the commentary team definitely didn't help as far as selling it.
Oh, yes, they did not. They actually, like I said, I actually texted both of you while we were watching. I'm like, okay, am I the only one who's actually very disturbed with what Dean Ambrose is saying? With what, like, storyline purposes, of course. Am I disturbed of what actually he's saying and what he's going to do to another human being, and the commentating team is actually laughing at like he's a silly man?
But then, of course,
like joking-wise silly man, not actually silly man that is actually disturbed.
Right. But then, of course, they borrowed a trick from the Jeff school of booking angles, and they just brought out Mick Foley.
Yay!
Well, first Seth Rollins comes out and tries to make some kind of joke on it, where I think Seth Rollins can get away with it, saying like, "Oh, you're just a crazy person, and I'm not afraid of the cell," which is what brings out Mick Foley with the best opening line.
You should be
with the best opening line. I'm just here to visit an old friend, and points up to the cell. I loved that bit.
And not to mention, he also worked in the WWE Network plug, where I'm watching it all on the WWE Network for an undisclosed sum. Like, yes, Foley, I still love you after all these years.
Here the boulder feels conflicted.
And I gotta say, alright, Mick Foley, Dean Ambrose, and Seth Rollins really worked as a unit with each other. But also, the promo before all that with Dean Ambrose and John Cena, where they did the Batman and the Superman thing, and John Cena was like, "You're not really Batman. You're not really Batman. You're more like the Joker." And then he walks away, and Dean Ambrose is like, "Why so serious?"
He said it. He did it like he spoke it like he actually would say something like that, not trying to speak the Dark Knight line.
Yeah, he was like, why so serious?
Yeah, see, they're on a hot streak with him, and you know what? That the way they're hyping him up and the way they're publicizing and utilizing him, I know we were afraid about it at first, but right now there's very little doubt in my mind that this is going to close the show.
Oh, it has to. I couldn't have made it more clear last week. It has to.
I hope so.
Double main event all they want, but this is going to. That's the way it's going to be.
I hope it has the pay-per-view, but with this number one contenders thing,
I'm still convinced that actually will be the first one.
Yeah,
and then they'll have something in between.
We'll see what happens. I hope that Ambrose versus Rollins is the main event, because it's had 5 months of build-up. So it should be the main event, because this is where they potentially end the feud.
Mm-hmm. Which is what the Hell in a Cell was made for in the first place, yeah.
But you look at the names in that other match, what it's for the number one contendership for the WWE title that isn't at the pay-per-view at that point, and it makes me kind of wonder whether they're going to put that as the main event, because it does have stakes for the title.
I think the one difference for that is, yes, it's for the stakes for the title. Yet with Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose, they're focusing more on the fact that these are their first times in the cell, which is the selling point for this pay-per-view in the first place. And what better way to actually sell the point that this is their first time being in the cell than having the guy who made the cell famous in the first place? Well, yeah, who pretty much, yeah. It's so excited it made me tongue twisted. He made the cell famous with Mick Foley, who was thrown off the cell, who was thrown through the cell, who was thrown through the ring from the top of the cell.
And if anybody's crazy enough to redo those feats, it will be Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins.
Exactly.
And let me tell you, and let me just close on this one little point. Like you mentioned before, from a strictly booking standpoint, or at least logic standpoint, you would be correct here, Brian. If we're going just on that, then maybe Cena and Orton would close out the show. However, I am noticing, like you said, Fool, a whole lot more hype coming from the Ambrose Rollins camp. Not just from Mick Foley, but again, I really didn't bring this up during the backstage news since there really was. It just was a thing that happened. Dean Ambrose actually has an interview on RollingStone.com.
Oh, and on Xfinity.
Yeah,
yes.
I remember reading about this.
Xfinity too.
Yeah, the way they're hyping, and we're not even getting into the prominence on the commercials for Hell in a Cell. Let's face it, Dean Ambrose's face is on the poster for Hell in a Cell.
Because Dean Ambrose is awesome.
Yes, and I've got to believe that they at least know what they're getting out of Dean Ambrose.
A lot better than what they're doing.
They're getting a whole bunch of crazy crap.
A lot better than what they were doing with R-Truth of the pay-per-view 2 years ago. With him being on the Hell in a Cell poster and wasn't even on the goddamn card.
Yeah, at least my point being that I am not. We're all pulling for Dean Ambrose to win. It's going to be a great match, and I think we're all mostly secure that we know what we're getting out of this guy.
They're both going to be winners, but the conqueror of in the Cell match is going to be Dean Ambrose.
Yeah, because Seth Rollins has been getting one over on Dean Ambrose since the beginning of time.
Yeah.
Since the beginning
of
this feud. So
Dean
Ambrose is due for a win.
Mm-hmm.
And like what we were saying in past episodes, pretty much when this feud started, it's going to end in the Cell.
And here it is.
I really hope they really go through with it being the match to end this feud.
Yeah, that's why we were so worried when it was Dean Ambrose versus John Cena for the shot. I was like, they're not. They're not. They can't. That's it.
They can't be this stupid. And they didn't. They saved themselves.
They were smart, and they saved us all, and we're good.
Yes, indeed, we are all good. But the question is, are you all good? Yes, you, the person watching this YouTube video. No, not you.
Okay.
No, yeah, you. Yes, you. We want to know what you think. Stop talking in sign language over there. Instead, yes, we're talking to you, the person behind the computer. We want to know what you think. Comment below, let us know what you think. Like this video. And of course, if you'd like to see more, subscribe to us. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. And of course, you can always like us on Facebook. Find our page, The Scholars of Wrestling Show. We post stuff all the time, including my love for Sasha Banks. It's free entertainment on your Facebook page, and it's not a bunch of BuzzFeed articles. That alone should be enough.
True.
I'm actually really looking forward to this pay-per-view.
Yeah,
I'm not going to lie.
Especially after this whole review and
breakdown.
breakdown.
This discussion made it even better.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be good.
It's going to be a good one. So, we'll see you all at Hell in a Cell. In the meantime, we are still the Scholars of Wrestling, and you have still just been schooled once again. You're welcome. See you all at Hell in a Cell. We out.
La, 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 la.